um, um, um. Hey, yay, hey, yay. We are all gathered here to discuss the quote again. Claressa the quote Shields. In her recent behavior, it has been absolutely preposterous, I tell you. Claressa Shields exposed. I don't want to hear nothing else. Don't get on, oh, ego. Why? Why did you? I will show you all of the receipts, but I have unearthed, uncovered, and I shall get unpacked on Claressa Shields. You know you done effed up. You said, you know you done effed up. You done messed up, right? I can't wait. Ooh, wee. I feel good. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, where do I really even start? Claressa Shields, brilliant fighter, but right now, the character is in question. The personality, the gamesmanship, the taunting is all in question, right? The brilliant thing about what I do is I have an opinion. You can like it. You don't have to like it. But at the end of the day, I don't care. Whatever way you pick, because if I said it, I meant it, and I always explain. And the brilliant thing about being a content creator online is this. You have, at least if you're me, receipts. And that's where enter this conversation why Claressa Shields is about to get exposed, because her behavior in the sport of boxing recently has not been so championship-like. And it's unfortunate. And I feel like for me, I'm being so honest with you. I've always done my job to celebrate fighters when they do it right. And I do a great job of that. I always give you credit. So for years, Claressa has never been part of a negative conversation on my channel, so to speak, right? But what you're doing, it really feels like it matches the timeline of this whole PAPOOSE stuff, right? I don't know what, maybe the more attention, maybe you're acting like it's your first boyfriend. We get it. You're in love. Amazing. But we don't need to know every waking moment. Pap upstairs, Pap on the toilet, Pap smear, Pap this, Pap that, Pap ate a Pop-Tart, picked a pickled pepper. You know what I mean? It's all so much. And really all for what? It comes across as like contrived. So Claressa, she dropped this cover art and a love song to PAPOOSE. Like, the timing seems really weird, right? Here's the cover. And it's called Faithful. Now she's a rapper. First she was a rapper. She was a boxer and Olympian. Now she a rapper. And then now she allegedly a singer. And what's weird about this is fine, whatever, get your paper, you know, if this is what you're passionate about, you know, whatever. You're in love. But again, the timing just feels weird, really weird. Like, it just feels forced. Like, it's almost like, imagine if you were going to go on Love and Hip Hop, like a reality show like that, and you had to have a camera following you So they picked you as a contestant and they felt you were interesting enough. That's how Claressa Shields is running her ship right now, right? Like she's trying to get shows for, I don't know if that Zeus dude, Plumber, whatever his name is, if you're trying to land some kind of show, Bad Girls Club or Real Boxers of Flint, Michigan, you know, but it's looking weird, right? So whatever, you're singing now, you're rapping now, whatever. I'm not even mad at that, but the timing is weird. You dropped a song called Faithful days after Maserati Bud, and you know there was suspicion she was threatening 50 Cent and Maserati Bud. People were taking out, you know, their opinions on it and accusing you of cheating, all that kind of stuff. So the timing is weird. What? Her hair looked like George Washington. Wow. Bro, y'all be in my comment section wilding. This man said her hair looked like George Washington. George Washington, though? Hey, y'all violating, dog. What? I know, I get, like, you talking about that old, like, Quaker look. That's what they... So I don't know if George Washington, but I feel you. I know what you're talking about. You talk about when they, like, the judge... like with the judges, basically the beginning of this video. Hey, like them up. That's what you talking about. Them yees. He said Claressa got one of these colonial joints on. Ah! Oh my God. See, I nailed it. I added up, bro. You got one of them colonial. Bro, hold on. Look, this is what he was referred to. Wow. Bro, look, that's the same one right there. Look, there goes Shields right there. So I wrote this song for ya. And I wrote this love, yeah, bro. If you right out here, if you right out here, I hit the like PAPOOSE never made it. I should just end the video right here because it's off the rails right now. Anywho, enough with the jokes, folks. Claressa been tripping. And stay tuned to the end of the video. We shall breaks it down. And I got a special treat for y'all. So make sure y'all subscribe. But yeah, like, it's just, she's just doing a whole lot, you know? And I don't know if that's great for your brand. And I don't know if that's what people are feeling. And judging from the comment section, it don't seem to be the case, because if people were feeling that, I feel like they would be responding differently, you know? And Claressa, she's just been like, almost like Mean Girls movie or something, like real crude, real vulgar, stuff like that. Let me give you guys, in case you haven't seen some of my other videos. All right, boom. A fan said PAPOOSE was at Cardi B concert and Remy Ma was at the concert on stage. So they DM'd Claressa Shields and said, hey, yo, man was up at the spot. And she said, no, he wasn't. And you thought you was helping me out. Too bad he was licking my cooter last night. Like, why did you need to say that, bro? And like, what man? I'm surprised that PAPOOSE, how old is he, bro? How old is PAPOOSE? Because I'm surprised. I know he's older than Claressa Shields. I know that, right? And I am surprised that PAPOOSE, let's see. Whoa, see, okay. So he's 48 years old. I'm surprised that he's going for this, like this type of behavior. It couldn't be me. You know, best of luck to him, to each his own. But I can't have no female that just constantly putting our relationship in the spot. And for real, PAPOOSE seemed like a cool dude. He seemed like a chill dude. He's pushing 50. You know what I mean? No pun intended. Get it? Pushing 50. Never mind. Bars. I'm a rapper, so you dig. And it looked like he lived a relatively family man kind of quiet life. And then on the other hand, you have Claressa Shields, like thirsting for attention and almost acting adolescent or juvenile recently. This is the Claressa Shields that we miss. You know what I mean? Before you had that just for me, you know what I mean? With the shoulder length joint right here. And you had the blazer from Ross or TJ Maxx and the gold medal. But you feel like, oh, I had a glow up and like I'm gonna start treating people different. There's so many people that I see online and they're like, I said something, it wasn't even, they're like posting the screenshot, mind you, and they're saying Claressa blocked them. And I get it. I'm sure she gets some like aggressive trolls, but some of the stuff don't even be that bad, and it just looks real thin-skinned. Like, why are these boxers so thin-skinned? You take punches to the face for a living, but you can't take a joke, a meme. You can't take criticism. That's weird. Like, if somebody said, hey, I'm going to hit you hardest with an uppercut in the face, and you're not going to see it coming because it's sneaky, or I'm gonna listen to your song and criticize it, or look at how you're behaving and criticize. Man, give me that criticism. In fact, I'm a content creator. I always get criticism. I can't do right. According to y'all, I can't do right. I'm the kid with the golden voice. I can't, look, you feel me? I came in the game and made it look pretty. I gave you years of content. I work hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm just him. And to somebody out there, I'm the worst thing ever. So it come with the territory. We as like personalities and brands that are online, it's just something you got to deal with. You got to learn how to navigate through the water. And I said this from day one, is like Claressa Shields, she from the hood, you know what I mean? And you have to sometimes, once you've gotten up out your situation, took care of your family, you got to also elevate your mind to the point where you're making the right decisions. You've made it. And people, it's funny because like a lot of people don't really know me. They don't know me. You know me from the internet. You don't know me. You don't know nothing about me other than what I show you. Put it that way. Claressa Shields is a winner with the Olympics twice in the ring. That's what we love. That's black excellence. That is it. But with that torch also comes responsibility. It's like Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. Part of that is to acquit yourself in the right way, be consistent with your messaging and your brand. Like, and I don't feel like this recent post-PAPOOSE or current PAPOOSE relationship, Claressa, she's making it really hard to identify with. I don't mind confident, even bordering cocky. You know why? In a fight game, like a sport like boxing, you're supposed to be confident. My favorite fighters, Floyd, Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones, you understand me? Didn't I just say that? This would take some time. You back. I wasn't grabbing the rope, Jim. I was chicken fighting. Don't do that, right? Some of my favorite fighters of all time, I said, don't do that, Jim. He not getting up, right? Some of my favorite fighters were cocky. Prince Nassim Hamed, Roberto Duran. I like menacing fighters, trash talk. I'm with all that. But when you take it a step further and you're just being like a disrespectful, like nasty person, like with no integrity, no class. I mean, we're talking about different things, right? And I feel Claressa is currently finding herself involved in more and more like extracurricular stuff. And she might not want to hear what I'm having to say, but I'm like, I told you, I'm the Bruce Wayne of boxing. So boxing is my sport too. You dedicated your life to it. I did too, in a different way. You know what I mean? And just like you can block who you want and get on these interviews and talk and show your confidence and bravado and say what you want, I got that same liberty. It's America, baby. And I'm just not finding myself relating to a lot of what Shields has been doing recently, you know? And people are like, oh man, you hating. Like, right? Which we'll get to. What do I got to hate on a female for? Like, please let me know. What do I got to hate on a female for? I ain't got to hate on nobody, but I mean, I'm talking about a female. Like what? That's like literally a female is like the opposite of a man. Why would a man have to hate on a female? You know what I mean? It don't even make sense. So we can't even spend that much time there. But let that land. Why would I have to hate on a female? It's really your behavior. Like, and people, and when it happens, fighters be like thinking that I'm like bipolar. It's not bipolar. Look at how you're behaving. If you behave like you always did, the stuff that we respect and liked, that my energy and everybody else, like for example, I've criticized Boots. I'm a big fan of Boots. I'm a big fan, but there were some moments in his career where decisions him or his team were making, I'm like, you said you would move up to 54, and then you said I'm staying at 47 when Turkey was offering you the Virgil fight at that time. You know what I mean? So there were certain things, and I'm like, Boots is big. He's crunching down to 47. I had constructive criticism, but I'm a big fan of Boots, right? Notice he's fighting Xander Zayas. It got officially announced, right? And you haven't heard one word from me negative about the fight. That's what I'm saying. That's what y'all don't understand. I'm too smart for that. You're not finna play me. Ain't nobody finna play me for a hater. I ain't never hated on nobody. You know what I mean? This is a great fight. In lieu of Virgil Ortiz not happening for obvious reasons, lawsuits, beefing with Golden Boy, the show must go on. Champion, you see the belt. Boots, you know what I'm saying? You see the beard, soon to be belt, in my opinion, because I think he beats Xander. But fair play to Xander Zayas for even pursuing the greatness, like it says on there, and taking opportunity. He hungry, he wanted. Again, this is what I reward in the sport of boxing. I love the location, Barclays Center, great location, hip. Like Madison Square Garden is cool. I've been to both. Madison Square is cool, but it's kind of like uptight, like older. It's just like an older venue, but they also feel older. Barclay is like a younger crowd. You'll see people with drip. The females be super pretty. You know, also MSG security be tripping. I almost got in a fight with a security dude. He was trying not to let me go to the press conference. I'm like, you see this credential, bro? What's good? What's Gucci? You know what I mean? Anywho, I love everything about it. Point blank, period. Therefore, I don't have a criticism. You see how that work? If you do right, you get props. If you do good, Boxingego gonna give you the props. But if you out here talking about, oh, you a dumb, PAPOOSE was going down on me, like, what are we talking about? Now, I get it. I had a lot of like dialogue and people want to know how Claressa Shields is going to get exposed. So I guess now is a good time for me to segue to how Claressa is about to get exposed really bad. But I just wanted the record to show, because again, I am so scientific with these videos that you could play one of these joints back in 5 months, 6 months, a year. It's going to be relevant. And I told y'all about, like, when I started seeing Claressa Shields start tripping, that's why this is like my paper trail. Now, I got to catch a body. I didn't want to have to do this, but Claressa made me. Let go. Okay. Speaking of crude, like this crude behavior, that's what we talking about from Claressa Shields. We talking about that, right? So let's really talk about like what I'm referring to that she's doing. Keith Thurman, who you have no real like reason to hate him or beef with him. The only reason people think of Keith Thurman one time and you is because you said you could fight him and beat him, which sounded preposterous. Even with him getting stopped by Fundora, I'm still picking Keith one-time Thurman if he were to fight Claressa to knock her out, or at least beat her at the very least, right? That's my personal opinion. Just like Claressa thinks she can beat him, cool. And I'm about to expose, but these videos aren't scripted. I'm not reading a teleprompter. I could turn around. I could do whatever. You understand? I'm God gifted. I'm elite. I ain't stuttered one time. I ain't made no mistakes. I'm him. I'll be one taking my like Jay-Z. I'm like Hove. I really do this. So sometimes these new thoughts come to me. And when it comes to Claressa Shields, you are being distasteful and you're talking about I could whoop a man. I could beat a man. Give me Triple G. What?
Hell no, guys. Hey, Max, this big drama is nothing. This punch, guys.
You're not beating Triple G. Even the retired potbelly Triple G right now, in charge of the Olympics or whatever.
Hell no, guys.
You're not beating him. He would seriously wound you. Rolly, Keith Thurman, I don't think you beat any of them. But yet and still, you keep throwing it out there. And we as a populace and as a public, we have to really start analyzing that in which we say. Where you'll see people try to cape and help Claressa. Mind you, when I exposed this girl in the end of this video, there's nobody that can say nothing. Ain't nobody gonna be able to help her because I'm about to cook. But I just want to say this, and then I'll get to the exposure. We got to stop going from people could just say whatever, outlandish things, and we're supposed to celebrate it like, oh, they're daring to be great. Oh, it's good to be conky. It's good to be confident, and it's good to be cocky, and that gives you like free range or a carte blanche to just say anything. That's not how that works at all. Like Jake Paul said he was going to sleep Anthony Joshua, right? Should I praise him for saying something that always sounded ludicrous to me? Right? Luda, disturbing of peace. That sounded crazy to me, but some of y'all celebrating it. Oh man, that's not being confident or whatever you guys want to label it as by saying outlandish things and then falling way short when you can't really do it. And then I'm supposed to give you some type. I don't believe in participation trophies, right? Like if a person said, oh, I can go to the Empire State Building, drop down and jump off and land on my feet and nothing will happen to me. I'm not giving you props for that. When you do it and you break all your, you know what I mean, and you all broke up or not on this planet no more. And then you want me to be like, oh, he was daring to be great. And no, I'm not giving that's like stupidity. So I feel like we got to redefine the lines of like confidence and stupidity. And we're getting it a lot with this streamer era, I noticed, where like Dean the Great, he's talking about fighting and beating up people 10 times bigger than him, some that are even trained. Like guys that are trained fighters. And then you're doing it at house parties, right? Like you're beefing with King Green, Bobby Green, huh? I don't know about how his boxing skills is, but you don't want to fight him at no party. We already know that. You know what I mean? So I can't, for me in this new generation, I'm not giving all that a bunch of props for you saying outlandish things and then trying to get your fan base to believe in it. Moving on. So exposure in 3, 2, 1. You don't really have a beef with Keith Thurman other than you said you can beat him. When he's fighting Fundora, you said, Keith, one time might go to sleep for the one time, right? So whatever, you predicted the fight. Then you said, Keith is bunny hopping around the ring. Crying emoji. Come on, Fundora, sleep him. So for all y'all that are like, oh, Claressa Shields, she a sister, you know, I'm FBA, so I can't say, man, I don't care what y'all talking about. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And a lot of dudes that overdo it, right? Not just being proud of who you are or pro-black. That's not a problem. But when you turn a blind eye to what's in front of you, like, and it happens all the time in boxing. Like, you have people who are like, oh, I'm FBA, blah, blah, blah. So I don't care. I'm supporting. But then the person that you're FBA for ain't playing by them same rules. You have a black woman in Claressa Shields actively rooting against a black fighter and talking about, come on, Fundora, sleep him. He can't take your power. So you can't, when people are coming for Claressa Shields, you can't fall back on some, oh, I'm FBA and I'm supporting anything black. But then the fighter you're doing it for ain't supporting anything black because she's actively telling the world that she wants Fundora to sleep Keith Thurman for no reason. Again, you don't have no like lifelong beef with him or whatever. So I want that to be clear, and I want the record to show how does that work where support black-owned business, that's righteous. But y'all be like, oh, Terrence Crawford, blah, 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 Shakur Stevenson, and then Shakur talking about Tyson Fury would beat Muhammad Ali. You be like, oh, Ryan said this, T.O.'s racist, Ryan and did it. And then you're doing it for Shakur. But then Shakur is talking about Tyson Fury would beat Muhammad Ali. And he said Sugar Ray Robinson is buns. That was his word. We talking about black legends. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson. He calling one dude buns, who's arguably the greatest fighter of all time. Even Roger Mayweather said that. And then the other legend, Muhammad Ali, he's saying that Tyson Fury would beat him. He can't even beat Usyk, who's like kind of like a modern day, like framed like a Ali type of person. So this is what y'all, Keyshawn Davis, right? Oh, I'm FBA, so I don't care I want him to beat T.O. and okay, cool. But then he getting on the stream with the Mexican cut and he talking about, the guy was like, man, Mexicans run boxing, blah, 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 blah. What about Canelo? Taking him to a Mexican food spot. And Keyshawn was like, yeah, I guess you're right. Ryan Garcia's doing good. So don't come at me, talk about we got to protect people who ain't protecting the people that you say you down for. That don't even make sense to me. So anyway, I'm about to go off now. Now y'all piss me off. Keith bunny hopping around the ring. Ha, ha, ha. Come on, Fundora, sleep him. He can't take your power. So you happy and encouraging Fundora to whoop on Keith, whatever. More taunts. Fight back, Keith Thurman. Just out here getting punched on. And circle the other way sometime. And look, it's all fun and games, jovial, emojis, right? And it says, it's time to go to sleep. Oh, ish, Keith. This is not constructive, like, fight analysis, right? You don't hear Andre Ward calling a fight and be like, oh, time to go to sleep. Fight back. Oh, you bunny hopping. Ha, 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 ha. You getting punched on. Oh, Fedora, put him to bed. Like, you're acting like a teenager or something. You know what I mean? Like, you had this, like, crazy vendetta or beef against Keith Thurman, which I've already talked about. But stay tuned to the end of the show because I'm really going to put it all together, right? So you are acting like Keith Thurman is the worst thing ever, right? And, like, making fun of him, taunting him, encouraging Fundora, laughing at him, talking about go to sleep. How many times are you going to say you're going to go to sleep? Cool. And he did get knocked out. Cool. But this behavior from a pro fighter, kind of embarrassing. Like, if I'm being honest, like, you're not really constructively adding anything to the conversation, and you're acting like you're sworn enemies, like 50 Cent and Ja Rule or something, right? Where, okay, I can understand they've been beefing for 25 years plus or whatever, so they're not going to have nothing nice to say. Why you have this energy for Keith? And then when Claressa Shields do it, you got all these dudes that try to simp, and they'll be like, oh, man, blah, 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 and go to bat for her. But look at who she's beefing with. 50 Cent, black. Maserati Bud, black. Gervonta Tank Davis, black. Rolly, part black. Some of y'all didn't know that. Rolly is part black, right? I already said Tank Davis. Clearly Keith Thurman, add him to the list, right? She was beefing with Cameron, killer, right? That's already 7 people. That's already 7 people easily off the top of my head, and I know I'm leaving out other people that she beef with, right? Tank, Killer, Fifth, all these people. So what's pro-black in that? Just like Terrence Crawford, right? People want to come with this like weak FBA stuff, and then the people you're doing it for, they're not even playing by that same rule. Makes no sense. Then she says that left hand Fundora throwing is nasty. Just busting Keith up. Okay, we get it. You're having fun because he getting beat on. Dang, it's getting serious out there. Inferno kicking Keith's butt. I think the 6th round is over. I mean, how much animosity or disdain do you have? I didn't count the tweets, but I'm just going to show you the level of petty from Claressa Shields, right? It's like 10 tweets in a 6-round fight. The fight lasted 6 rounds. And this is just like constant Claressa, like, you getting cooked, you getting beat, None. It's just like a little kid or something, right? Yeah, Keith got beat so bad, the referee had to save him. Yelling voice. Got beat the F down. Say what you want. I ain't never got my butt kicked like that, especially in a world title fight. And then look, she retweeting it, right? Dang, congrats, Fundora. Beat that man until he was red and blue. So you would think that Keith Thurman really did something to Claressa Shields or her family or something. Great night. Have a good night. Right? So real juvenile, right? Slow motion for me. Move it slow motion for me. I like it like that. She working that, man. Slow motion for me, right? So now it's time to expose Claressa Shields. And spoiler alert, you got to watch this part of the video because that was just showing her character. That wasn't even the exposure. I guess it's part A. Now let's get into part B of the exposure. So now that that's fresh in your mind, I just showed you all of those tweets where Claressa was really just ripping Keith Thurman, showing him no mercy, no grace, no class, and rejoicing because Mexican-American Fundora was beating him. Now, that shows your true character, that you're doing all of that as a pro fighter. Weird, because a lot of these boxers, when it's someone they like and then people are clowning them, they'll be like, oh, man, you fight fans are terrible in boxing because a fighter loses and you say they're bums. But look at how you have actual fighters acting. Like little kiddos roasting Keith Thurman from some artificial manufactured beef. But anyway, part B. Remember not that long ago, about 5-6 months ago, Laila Ali and Claressa Shields had an exchange of words, right? This is the part that is so dangerous about me. My memory is crazy. I have the memory of an elephant. That's why they can't beat me. They can't outwork me. They can't beat me. I remember everything from doing this. But when she was beefing with Laila Ali, remember Laila Ali dressed up business casual and then Claressa tried to copy her and dressed business casual. Laila Ali shot her video talking head style and then cut 2 scenes. Like, here's some receipts, pulling up old interviews, and then Claressa copied the same exact format and did a talking head with the business casual, then tried to do cut 2 scenes showing receipts. But I reviewed those videos, right? And gave you my honest opinion. And now, since I did that, it stuck with me. And I remember something that's about to clap up Claressa Shields right now. So you copy Layla's whole format. I've already talked about that. And then the difference is, and I said this back then, and now we're here again. Laila Ali is really professional and classy. You were trying to mimic and emulate what you were seeing. So you stole her swag and you stole her whole steez, and then you try to copy it, right? But the difference is you could dress up and get your nails done and mani-pedis and get your hair flipped and all that. The difference is she's really classy, so that's why she did it like that. She's a grown woman, over 50, has a family, other businesses outside of boxing, comes from boxing royalty, right? So that's just who she is. And you tried to act like you were somebody else by following her and copying her. But now that we just seen you batter Keith Thurman when he just lost to Fundora in that manner, let's revisit what you said during that Laila Ali beef. Oh yeah, this is the good part.
You think Ronda Rousey, would you be able to take Ronda Rousey?
And no woman can beat me, period.
No woman.
No woman, period.
Not even Ronda.
Of course not. She's too much smaller than me anyway. She's like the size of my daughter, my 3-year-old.
Laila Ali had been retired for years and still entertained conversations about coming out of retirement and fighting Ronda Rousey.
So you're mad because she was retired and was open to getting the bag by fighting Ronda Rousey, who was relevant at that time? Okay.
Laila Ali was bluffing. She was bluffing then, and she's bluffing now. This is what she does. She ties her name to whatever combat sports woman is popping, and she said that she'll beat them in a fight.
Why would the daughter of Muhammad Ali need to tie her name to you or Ronda Rousey as if she's not an Ali, which is probably the most recognizable name in boxing history? Mayweather and Ali probably, or Tyson. Those are probably like top 3. You know? She need to tie her name to you. All right, whatever. But let's keep going.
And then she plays victim once they respond.
Now, it's funny that she said play victim. Keep following along.
So, we all know that Ronda Rousey was on top of her game. Once Ronda Rousey lost, Laila Ali went on a celebratory tour laughing and celebrating the fact that Ronda Rousey had lost her first and only fight.
Get Claressa out of here. Get her out of here, bro. What y'all talking about? I'm the Elohim of boxing. Get her out of here. I know y'all heard that. Stop playing with me. You're dressed like Laila Ali with the business blazer or whatever, trying to be professional. But the real you is seeping out. And you're like, she tried to fight Laila Ali, tried to fight Ronda Rousey because she was retired. She was bluffing, trying to attach her name. Then you messed up. I told you at the beginning, you know you done effed up. You said that she tried to attach her name to Ronda Rousey because she was popping. And then you said that she went on a celebratory run laughing because Ronda Rousey lost to Holly Holm and got kicked in the head, right? And you're making these faces like you're empathetic. Like, how could she do that, right? How could she? And it shows Layla's class, right? Let's listen.
Of her game. Once Ronda Rousey lost, Laila Ali went on a celebratory tour laughing and celebrating the fact that Ronda Rousey had lost her first and only fight.
Me trainer was like, train Ronda Rousey. I'm like, but I thought you thought she could beat me. What happened?
So would you do that?
You can't train somebody's chin to take a punch. But for the right amount of money, yeah, we could probably make.
What does Ronda Rousey need to work on?
Oh, where do I begin? You know what I mean? I think we need to understand that in order to be the best in the world, you definitely don't ever get beat up like that in your prime, period.
No, it was pretty bad.
I remember you said the best in the world don't get beat. You still feel that way?
No. I said that?
Yeah, I thought in reference to Ronda Rousey.
You don't get beat the way she got beat. You know, to just get 100% taken advantage of in the ring and just look like a little rag doll in the ring, that would never happen.
Now,
so that's Laila Ali speaking on Ronda Rousey losing, and that's what Claressa Shields is claiming was her celebratory tour where she was mocking Ronda Rousey. I didn't really hear anything wrong. She was like, you can't train a chin, facts. Amir Khan will tell you that, right? She said, if you're the best in the world, you shouldn't get ragdolled. But where was she celebrating? Where was she gloating? Where was she rejoicing that Ronda Rousey lost, as you put it, Claressa Shields?
Taken advantage of in the ring and just look like a little rag doll in the ring, that would never happen.
Now, this is the thing that people want to overlook. She's supposed to be so classy and supposed to be so, above everything. But look at these interviews here where she's clearly laughing at Ronda, discrediting Ronda, talking about how you can't be a great, and laughing at Ronda, everything. But look at these interviews here where she's clearly laughing at Ronda, discrediting Ronda. Look at these classy, and this is the thing that people want to overlook. She's supposed to be
never happened.
Now, this is the thing that people want to overlook. She's supposed to be so classy and supposed to be so, above everything. But look at these interviews here where she's clearly laughing at Ronda, discrediting Ronda, talking about how you can't be a great and lose that bad in your prime. She just taking a dump all over her, and Ronda Rousey was really that girl. So, I don't know if you guys know, but up in boxing, it takes a lot to get inside the ring. It takes a lot to prepare for a fight. And we all have a camaraderie where...
I know she didn't just say camaraderie. What the... Bro, that Flint water is doing more damage than we thought. What the hell is some camaraderie? Camaraderie.
Get inside the ring. It takes a lot to prepare for a fight. And we all have a camaraderie where we don't laugh at each other when we fail, someone loses a fight. We don't kick each other when we're down. We laugh at each other when we prepare for a fight. And we all have a camaraderie where we don't laugh at each other when we fail, someone loses a fight. We don't kick each other when we're down. We have a good sportsmanship, and if there is any competitive spirit, it's not in a disrespectful way. The way...
Bro, get Claressa out of here. Pack her up. I just packed her up, right? I just packed Claressa Shields up. I'm the new GOAT, period. You just said we had a camaraderie, which don't even make no sense. When you were trying to diss Laila Ali and claim that Ms. Laila Ali ain't classy, right? Then you said, we're supposed to have a camaraderie. We don't kick fighters down and laugh. Scripted. You got that from ChatGPT because guess what you did when Keith Thurman, when he just lost over the weekend? You said, great night. Have a good night. Dang. Congrats, Fundora. Beat the man till he was black and blue, right? Yeah, Keith got beat so bad, the ref had to save him. Got beat the F down. Say what you want. I ain't never got my butt kicked like that. Laughing emojis, right? It's getting serious out there. Inferno is kicking Keith butt. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Right? Laughing emojis. I think it's over. Left hand that Fundora is throwing is nasty. Blah, blah. I'm not reading these all again. Fight back, Keith. Ha, 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 ha. Keith bunny hopping around the ring. Come on, Fundora. He can't take your power. What happened to the camaraderie? What happened to... We don't do that. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. What happened to the Malcolm X? And we don't do that because boxing is a fraternity. Bro, you know you done effed up. You got ego on the case, forensic files, Mr. Forensic Files, and now you have fully, even though I told you back then Laila Ali was cooking, you have fully proven Laila Ali's point. Because you try to dress up in the business casual, but then your real personality keeps seeping out. And now, per usual, Claressa continues to be hypocritical, right? So this outfit ain't finna save you. It's how you behave. It's how you conduct yourself. Notice
good sportsmanship, and if there is any competitive camaraderie, and Ronda Rousey was really that girl. So,
and you did all of this to defend a white woman in Ronda Rousey, who is kind of a nasty person, right? She called Holly Holm a fake preacher daughter, bitch. Look it up. When she lost, it wasn't with grace, right? It wasn't with grace at all. She disappeared, wouldn't do no interviews. Then she lost to Amanda Nunes. The whole fight week, Ronda Rousey, she had a media blackout and she wouldn't talk about her last fight with Holly Holm. Then she popped up on Ellen DeGeneres crying. She was crying out there. She was making these feminine women noises and gestures. She was crying out there, right? Crying on Ellen with this woe is me, like trying to make everybody feel sorry. You got kicked in the head. You were treating Holly Holm bad, right? And this is who Claressa Shields was trying to defend, to diss a black legend, daughter of a legend, Laila Ali. So you're defending Ronda Rousey, who also didn't lose with grace and had a lot to say. And she does interviews right now, Ronda Rousey, like, I don't go to UFC fights because they'll boo me. They'll boo you because of how you conduct yourself, like Claressa Shields, right? But for this girl, Claressa Shields, to be saying,
I don't know if you guys know, but up in boxing, it takes a lot to get inside the ring. It takes a lot to prepare for a fight. And we all have a camaraderie where we don't laugh at each other when we fail, someone loses a fight. We don't kick each other when we're down. We have a good sportsmanship. And if there is any competitive scope, I don't know if you guys know, but up in boxing, it takes a lot to get inside the ring. It takes a lot to prepare for a fight. And we all have a camaraderie where we don't laugh at each other when we fail, someone loses a fight. We don't kick each other when we're down. We have a good sportsmanship. And if there is any competitive spirit, it's not in a disrespectful way. The way that Laila Ali celebrated Ronda Rousey's loss was disgraceful, and it showed that she has no integrity and that she doesn't even understand how serious the sport of combat sports is. So I'm playing these clips so you guys know it's not just me that Laila Ali hates on. She hates on any woman in combat sports who starts getting more notoriety than her.
live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I could provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast. This is why I'm playing these clips. This is why I'm playing the clips. Because you've been exposed. You got 24 hours. You can't quote your way out of this one, bro. Enough is enough. I told y'all, leave me alone. I told y'all. And then the reason the quote stands, y'all making it worse because I'm just going to get sharper. I'm just going to get better and start showing more receipts. We're talking about character. And again, I'm blaming y'all. And this is what y'all do. Y'all just turn me into a sniper. I just go out and get it. Like, because some of y'all was like, oh man, another Claressa video. Why? Oh, I'm unsubscribed. Good. Because you wasn't here for the truth anyway. I don't want you. I don't need you. And speaking of, let me talk. Let me talk this talk. Some people, oh, I'm unsubscribing because you're talking about Claressa. Good. Because I'm going to keep making videos. I ain't said nothing wrong. And look, for the record, here go to YouTube analytics. Yeah, over the last month, you see the numbers is climbing. We went from here to so yeah, pay me. Y'all gonna all pay me. Y'all gonna all pay me, and I'm gonna baptize y'all on these videos. And you paying for it. You gonna pay all my bills. Hit up my Cash App. I'm the one doing it right in this boxing. You gotta have some integrity. You try to get at Laila Ali, and you claim that she was this bad person and she wasn't classy. And then you're like, oh, you have to have camaraderie and all this type of stuff. And I don't think Laila knows how dangerous boxing is. And Crawford does the same thing. It's the same energy. I try to tell y'all. It's hypocritical. When Terrence Crawford wants to pick at a fighter, like remember when Teofimo lost to Shakur and he was like sticking his tongue out and laughing at him? That's Terrence Crawford. That's his energy. But then there'll be times where somebody else lose, like Ray Ford or somebody he might be cool with, and he'd be like, man, you boxing fans, why y'all dog him like that? Or when Steve Nelson loses, then Crawford would be like, boxing fans are the worst, and that's why the UK got better fans because they're loyal. Nah, you're not finna do that. You can't pick and choose where you could be nasty and throw people under the bus, laugh at the ooh-wee, and laugh when they lose, but then try to scold us, the media and fans, talking about, oh man, you guys don't understand how hard boxing is. You guys are just fans. You guys are casuals. You can't have it both ways. Either you're preaching that people need to respect the fighters and not kick people when they're down because it's a grueling sport, or you want to participate in it when you want to participate in it. But it can't be both. And this is exactly why Claressa Shields got exposed. See, I told you the most dangerous thing is a camera, a microphone, and that Wi-Fi. And this social media is turning into a drug. People, to me, this fully proves that Claressa Shields copied Laila Ali and her whole swag, and you were reading a script. Maybe you're a PR person. You're reading a script. I could tell by how you're struggling to look at the camera. Like, for example, I do this like video wise, right? I don't have a script. So you notice in my videos, there might be, I've been freestyling this whole video for an hour. That's how good I am. That's how elevated I am and elite at what I do, right? I'm looking around. Sometimes I detour to an impersonation or a song because there ain't no script to this. You reading, look how she looking at them cue cards, at that teleprompter. You reading. And what really shows me that you are reading is because you don't mean it. You don't mean what ChatGPT or your PR person put on there. You see, Laila, she's supposed to be so classy, and she was making fun of Ronda Rousey. Bro, first of all, we don't care about Ronda Rousey. She wasn't, they were saying she'll beat Floyd. We don't care about her. So you did this video trying to diss Laila Ali, and you thought that you were going to get black people on your side by, like, they was going to cape for Ronda Rousey, who herself was kind of a snarky person. So you didn't prove Laila Ali isn't classy and classless. You proved that about you.
Supposed to be so, above everything. But look at these interviews here where she's clearly laughing at Ronda, discrediting Ronda, talking about how you can't be a great and lose that bad in your prime. She just taking a dump all over her, and Ronda Rousey was really that girl. So I don't know if you guys.
So Keith Thurman wasn't really that boy? The same dude that said, you better not duck me, son, and wanted all smoke? The same guy that fought Danny Garcia, that gave us a classic with Sean Porter, that had all these memorable fights, right? Luis Collazo fought Manny Pacquiao. Hey, 1, 2, it's up to, yeah. Right? Fought Barrios. Was scheduled to fight Tim Tszyu. Fought Fundora. And you talking about, oh man, you shouldn't kick people when they down and blah, blah, blah. And Ronda Rousey was really that girl. So Keith Thurman, in his prime, he was doing the thing. The Bundu, you know what I mean? He was just doing his thing.
No, but up in boxing, it takes a lot to get inside the ring. It takes a lot to prepare for a fight. And we all have a camaraderie where we don't laugh at each other when we fail, someone loses a fight. We don't kick each other when we're down. We have a good sportsmanship, and if there is any competitive spirit, it's not in a disrespectful way. The way that Laila Ali celebrated Ronda Rousey's loss was disgraceful, and it showed that she has no integrity and that she doesn't even understand how serious the sport of combat sports is. So I'm playing these clips so you guys know it's not just me that Laila Ali hates on. She hates on any woman in combat sports gunned down and killed by the police.
She said it was disgraceful and unacceptable what Laila Ali was doing by making fun of Ronda Rousey. And the clip she played was worse. What she did to Keith Thurman on Twitter, or them clips from Laila Ali in the Breakfast Club.
In Laila Ali video, she said that I had become a disappointment and a bad representation of our sport and culture. When Colin
And then she tried to lean into pro-black stuff.
Kaepernick started to kneel to protest racial injustice and police brutality, it was a chain reaction. The world was tired of
to fit in. You have power, and you got
to be the daughter of the great Muhammad Ali. For those saying that Laila Ali YouTube hate documentary that she did was classy, that wasn't classy. That was mean girl energy. She was being nice, nasty. She's always wanted to hate on me out loud.
What does that mean? Nice, nasty. But anyway, she tried a pro-black angle, right? And brought up Kaepernick. And then she tried to denounce the light-skinned Laila Ali's blackness and say like, oh, da-da-da-da. And she tried, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you guys can go play it. Anyway, she was trying to make it look like Laila Ali wasn't really down. But again, who is Claressa beefing with? 50 Cent, Maserati Bud, Gervonta Davis, Keith One-Time Thurman, Rolly. You're beefing with black people. So you can't try to out. Claressa has exposed herself. This is your energy. Own it. You know what I mean? You're not finna out black Laila Ali and then play the FBA card. But then you out here acting nasty towards Keith Thurman. And then, oh, it's cool when they do it. You know, Laila Ali, who, even when she was talking about Ronda Rousey, the clips you played as your receipts, she ain't really say nothing crazy about Ronda Rousey. She's just like, you can't train the chin and she can't beat me. She was saying, I'll let y'all hear it. What you did with Keith Thurman was above and beyond. We unpacked.